All right, before we get started on this video, I kind of want to give you a quick backstory about what I'm up to with this. These are the very first trucks that I ever drove. This is the first Freightliner I ever drove, and why that's important is because I'm partnered with Freightliner now. I'm a member of Team Run Smart. I think I joined 4 months ago, mid-July. And so I thought it'd be really cool to show the very first Freightliner I ever drove, because now, you know, all these years later, the difference in the equipment and how far things have came. So that's why we're going to do this video. Johnny Baker gave me my first trucking job, which I really appreciate, back when I was 19 in 2001. And so that's 24 years ago. And that's when I first drove this Freightliner. And I can still remember the night that I drove it. I was at Lagodi Co-op in Lagodi, Indiana, and I was unloading into their bulk tanks, and another one of his drivers pulled up with his Freightliner with a load of propane on it. And he was ready to go home, so he took my truck with the empty trailer back home, and I jumped in this Freightliner, and I took his load to Worthington, Indiana. And so I hooked up, and the good thing about these mechanical engines was you had a throttle linkage, and so whenever your load was empty, the RPM would raise. So you might have it set at 1,000 RPM unloading, and then as soon as the load went off the pump, it would go up to, say, 1,500 RPM. And so this is what we called a no-doubter. There's no doubt that load I had in the tank would fit in their bulk tank, because of the quantity was so low in it. And so anyway, so I'm worn out. This is the middle of winter. It's probably midnight, 1 o'clock, something like that. And I thought, I'm just gonna like take a quick power nap over the top of the steering wheel. And so you'll see this steering wheel in this truck. It's huge. I mean, it's the size of a wagon wheel. And I thought, so I've slept on that thing before, and I thought, well, I'll just take a 30-minute nap. I'll hear the pump go, I'll hear the RPM raise, and then I'll get out and do my thing. And about 3 hours later, I wake up, and that engine's sitting there at 1,500 RPM. I don't know. I would say I probably slept there for 2 or 3 hours, just because I was just exhausted, I guess. And so got everything unhooked, and I guess it didn't hurt anything, but that's a story I was thinking about. I forgot to mention that to him, and I sure wasn't going to mention that to him whenever I was working for him. So if he watches this, then he can hear that story. So there's going to be probably a string of, I would say, 7 or 8 videos. These are all the first trucks I ever drove. He still got them, and I'd like to show them, just to kind of document it for myself and document it for him. And I just think it's kind of an interesting story. Not many people get to video and tell the stories of the very first equipment they operated. And so that's what we're going to do. And so on to the video now. Johnny Baker, the first Freightliner I ever drove. So why don't you tell us about it? Where'd you buy it? All the specs and all that good stuff.
We bought this from Boatnick up in Brownstown, and I think they hauled soybean oil with it, if I remember right. And we bought 2 of them. I think both of them were 82s. We paid $7,000 for them. I have no idea how many miles was on them, but they were used up. I mean, they were used. And I had that 87 at the time, and we needed to turn more revenue somehow. And so we started trucking more. But it had a cat engine in it. So we put the little buttons in there that are they're like nickels that you put in the pump.
Yeah.
And we turned it up, and she blew black smoke and would run with a 400 or a bigger truck. But that's probably why that motor's sitting there right now. But
Yeah.
But we used both of these for a good while. I mean, we got a lot of use out of them, and we never really had much trouble with them. And finally, just eventually, we noticed the cross members, there was some aluminum stuff that we saw, just a few little cracks, we thought, and we just started backing off.
So this is aluminum?
There was,
yeah, it is, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. And so we just backed off using them, and finally they sat here.
So did it blow, or did it just finally start using so much oil?
Ended up with the head gasket blown on it, and it cracked the head. And so when it done that, we didn't want to put the money in it, and so it sat here, and we've robbed parts for years and years. And I hate to say, if this thing sat here 25 years, 20 years, it's sat here a good while.
It's probably, I started driving for you 24 years ago, so I drove it. So it's probably been about 20 though.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
But you know, it still looks pretty. It really looks pretty straight.
We paid $7,000 and we made a ton of money with it. You know what I mean?
That's what it's about. But I mean, honestly, it doesn't look that bad as far as frame and. You could probably replace those with steel.
Oh yeah, no, it could be, and it was just the age of it and this, that, and other. We just needed to go on. We was hauling propane, we was hauling gasoline, and we just needed some better stuff.
So it's got Bud.
Yeah, it's got the old buds on
stud piloted wheels.
Yeah, it does.
Air ride though.
I mean, they were not bad trucks. You know, I mean, they it's amazing, but I mean, they did the same job that the trucks do today. You know.
Is this
just a little slower?
This is for the
auxiliary. Oh, that's the jack shaft for the propane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a jack shaft.
Did you have to put that in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
And that just runs off the back of the transmission?
That just runs off the PTO of the transmission, okay. Yes. And that's why we run those. You didn't have to have the hydraulic system and all that stuff with it.
Right. There. Get it where they can see the hood. You know, I don't remember it having these round headlights on it. That's even cooler. I thought it was newer than that.
No.
I didn't realize. Well, I was like, what's the chances of the first Freightliner I ever drove being an 82, the year I was born?
That's kind of funny.
It is. It's like, so 2-71. And so you had 2 of these.
Right.
Oh, kicked the camera. That's pretty cool. Just the hood's neat.
They were white when we got them, and we painted them red eventually, and back then we hauled mainly fuel and propane, and I don't think we got into stainless tankers yet back then.
So it's got probably tall 24s, right?
24s, I'm guessing. I think back then most everything I had, we ran 24s.
They look like
24s. They're 24s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tall 24s, 11R.
Yeah,
24s.
11Rs. And we always ran the 11Rs.
That's the cowboy rubber. Yep. Well, I love these. This was the exact I was telling you about when Scott Daugherty and I took a FLC. It was a little newer than this. It had square lights on it. But we took this thing. He bought it from, I think it was Carroll's gas hauling truck back in the day. He bought it from Ronnie Lowe, and he called me on a Friday afternoon. I was working construction. Said, "Hey, I got a load that I really need to go get out in Oklahoma." We took a load to Tulsa, and then we were going to reload in Oklahoma City and bring it back to Louisville. This is all he had, was a truck exactly, a few more years newer, but it had a B model cat in it too. Yeah. 13 speed. Has this got a 13?
13's what it had in it, yep.
And well, I guess the transmission's gone now, isn't it? But anyway, it had a little 36-inch bunk. We both slept in that thing. Yeah. So I was like, that's why I laugh now when people say, "Oh, this old truck," and it's got 500,000 miles on it. I was like, yeah, that's like a new truck to me.
Yeah. You just did what you had to do back then.
So what's the tank? You got dual 100s?
Dual 100s, I believe.
That's what I think's cool.
Yeah.
I always like the logo. You always this one had a different logo than any of your other trucks.
If you look as a kid, if you look at the old Ashland logo, I stole that from the old Ashland logo. The outside of it is the Ashland logo. This in here is the Ashland logo. These coming off of the name is the Ashland logo. And I can show you one. And so all of our stuff, my racing stuff and everything, we just patterned it off that old logo from back in the 40s or 50s for Ashland.
Oh, old antique air dryer.
Yep.
What else? But it is. It's got the old airliner. Boy, that's cool. Look at that stamped into it. You don't see those every day.
Yep.
It's got those are the same airbags like I was talking about for my lift axle. They look just like that. They get I don't know why they do that, how it's kind of separated in the middle. Yeah. That's just how they look. It's really, so here's how we used to unload propane with this. It looks like a PTO on a tractor. There would be another shaft that came back here that was on your trailer, and you would connect the two, and that's how you would unload. Instead of using hydraulics, it has a shaft that runs all the way up to the transmission. You remember how this truck's geared?
I absolutely do not, no.
It's got to be in the 4s though, isn't it?
I would say it was a little higher than that, but yeah, it wouldn't be
390s maybe.
It went, everything back then was just lower gear because you didn't have the horsepower, until you were.
And like you said, what we were doing around here.
Oh yeah.
All 2-lane. This is, but Yeah, one stack. So I'll check. Here, let's get up in it. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Metal pedals. It'd be tough to drive this thing. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, the good thing about this is I kind of forget that sometimes, that I don't have to worry about what you can say. You always can just cut it out.
Yeah.
Man, this thing's cool. This is a nice seat too. It's got one of these. What are the, is this a Bostrom seat?
Wide ride, yeah.
Yeah. So there's the, man, look at the steering wheel on this thing. Look how big it is. Yeah, so here was, I wish I could take this off.
Hand that out to me and I'll video you in it.
Okay, let me take these legs down. I was gonna show the, man, just getting out of the wind, it's a lot warmer in here. Oh, you still got the gear shift for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show this is, so here's how you would unload. You'd pull it, you'd take this counterclockwise, and that would make the RPM on the truck raise. Is this the shaft for it? The jack shaft?
That's probably one of them, yes.
Yeah, look at the size of the steering wheel. That's cool. But you know, this was a, I like this truck. This was, so
they did a fantastic job for us. They were used up when we got them. You know, they were moving on to newer stuff, and they fell right into what we were doing, and I mean, served us well for several years.
Man, they didn't change this forever, did they? This was on the FLDs for, I mean, until they quit making them.
Yeah.
You wanna
put your foot right here against the door, probably.
Yeah, you got a no tilt wheel. There's really,
well, there's no frills in there, that's for sure.
no. I wonder if it had, do you remember if it had air conditioning? Probably not. I can just
they were air conditioned, yes.
I can just remember driving it in the wintertime. But from what I remember, it had heat, and
oh yeah.
I mean,
no, they just,
you got the job
I mean, they
done.
did the job just the same as they do today.
I guess I don't remember if the radio worked, but
you just had to allow them more time. She's going to be a little slower, and the ride might not have been quite as good. And that's just how it was.